Greetings and welcome back to this video series on the new An Tir Authorization portal. This series will provide instruction on the new authorization portal and the upgraded capabilities that it has. This video will go over the capabilities of the different marshal officers in the kingdom. It will cover branch, regional, kingdom marshals, and the Earl Marshal. In our previous video, we saw that users could see who the current branch marshals are. As this is a test server, our list of branch marshals isn't complete, but we do have enough to show off the different features. All branch marshals will log in with their regular account. As they enter and leave their office, the capabilities that the system provides them will change. The capabilities that marshal officers get are marshal officers have an alert on their homepage with actions that are pending their approval. Regional and kingdom marshals can issue regional approvals for authorizations. Kingdom officers can issue and resolve sanctions. And kingdom officers can appoint and revoke officer roles. Let's start by logging in as a branch marshal. On our homepage, we see a pending authorization. As we discussed before, junior and senior marshal authorizations require that one marshal suggest it and a second marshal concur with it. Most of the time, those two marshals will work together to get that proposal and concurrence. If, however, someone has been suggested for a marshal, but no one has concurred with it, then the candidate's branch marshal in the appropriate discipline will see a suggestion to concur with the promotion. This feature, and being listed on the table of marshal officers, are currently the only capabilities that branch marshals have. Let's now log in as a regional marshal. We are now logged in as Rup Ahola, our Summit's Rapier Marshal. We can see that she has an authorization which is pending regional approval. The regional marshals do not get this alert for everyone that is awaiting a second marshal concurrence for approval. Instead, they only see the senior marshal authorizations that need regional approval. One thing we can see that is different from the previous view is that Rupa Hola has a reject button. If she feels that Sam would not make a good senior marshal, she is able to reject the authorization. Just like our marshals had to do when suggesting a marshal promotion, the regional marshal must add an explanation if they choose to either approve or reject a marshal promotion. Next, let's look at the view of our kingdom marshal officer. Here we see two different people that need regional approval. Because we are the kingdom marshal, we can see the regional approvals for every region of the kingdom. Let's explore some new capabilities that we have as a kingdom marshal. We'll start by looking at Jesse van der Ven. On this page, we can see there's a new section called Officer Position, where we can appoint someone to an office. Let's go ahead and scroll down. You'll notice that there are two pending authorizations, an Armored Combat Senior Marshal and a Cut and Thrust Combat Senior Marshal. Only the Armored Combat Marshal has an approve and a reject button on it, and that's because we're currently the Kingdom Armored Marshal, and so don't have the authority to approve a Cut and Thrust Senior Marshal authorization. We're going to go ahead and approve that Armored Combat authorization. Now that we've approved him, let's go ahead and make him the Branch Armored Marshal for South March. Kingdom marshals are allowed to appoint people as new marshals underneath them, so they can appoint branch and regional marshals in their discipline. You need to be the Earl Marshal to appoint someone as a Kingdom Marshal. They can also appoint branch marshals and regional marshals in any discipline. Only the Kingdom Authorization Officer can appoint an Earl Marshal. The system is set up so that an individual can only have one active marshal office at a time. It does allow more than one person to serve in the same marshal office at the same time. For instance, there can be two central thrown weapons marshals. The reason for this is that it allows us to appoint deputies to help with the work and provide overlapping coverage. Let's scroll down to the bottom of the page to see the next feature that marshal officers have. As we saw a few moments ago, whenever a marshal promotion or rejection is performed, we have to leave a message. Those messages are recorded as a log at the bottom of everyone's page. These notes are only visible to the regional or kingdom marshals in the appropriate discipline, as well as the Earl Marshal and Authorization Officer. For instance, we can see the notes for the armored marshal authorization that was submitted, but we can't see the notes for the rapier or the cut and thrust marshal authorizations that were submitted. The final ability that kingdom marshals and their superiors have is to issue sanctions. On this page, we can choose sanctions to impose on Jesse. The first step is we need to choose a discipline and a date. Then we have an option. If we say sanction by discipline, then we'll issue a sanction against them in every style within that discipline. If we want to only sanction them for a particular weapon style, we can choose that. Whenever we issue a sanction, we have to leave a note explaining why. Sanctions are visible to all users. This makes sure that people know not to try and authorize them in this style, or to let them into tournaments. Each sanction has a date that it was imposed and the date it ends. Sanctions can't last past the office of the person that imposed them, but they can be reissued by the next officer. A sanction is issued, any kingdom officer can view and modify the sanctions in their discipline. On our home page, we have a button to manage sanctions, so we'll go ahead and go there and click that. On the management page, you will only be able to see the sanctions that you were able to modify. Here, we can extend or end a sanction. That concludes this video on using the authorization portal as a marshal officer. The remaining videos in this series will show you how to use the system as other types of users. Please make sure to review all of the videos that match the level of access that you will have in the system.